Hey guys, I'm coming to you live outside Zuella Braverman MP constituency office. Now I have no idea how I've got internet because I've got no internet connection, but next door to it is also the Mortgage Advice Bureau, and the other side of it is a independent living house for people with disabilities. So this morning I did a live feed. Hey Karen, this morning I did a live feed on and I talked in there about government budget, and in government budget pretty much I've got some bloody sticky thing on my shoe oh god, I got some sticky thing on my shoe that I can't get off. In what I was basically talking about was the amount of money that was going towards housing benefit. Now, from day one, every single person went to school, okay? Every single person went through the education system, but nobody was taught about Equifax, Experian, the game of Monopoly, and how to buy a house. So there's a lot of people that turn to social services because of housing issues, because they're homeless, and also because of income and money. Now, when we don't know ourselves and we don't know who we are or what we're about, then we end up in dead-end jobs. Now, I just want to explain something. Suella, who I'm going to do some more research on, basically is somebody that woke up one day and wanted to make a difference to her community, and she set out her days to be able to represent her local community. But the thing is, the MPs aren't doing this. So I want to do a massive big push now to all of the families who are in Fareham. So it doesn't matter what constituency you're in, the message is still the same. So right here, right now, I'm outside Fareham Conservative Association, and that's pretty much what it is. It's a business, people. It's just a business. Conservatives are businesses, the parties are businesses, they are all businesses, but they are all here to represent the people. Hello, Danielle. So anyway, I'm going off from here. I'm going off to adoption and fostering meeting that is going on here in Fareham, and I'm going to go and speak to them guys too. So if you are in the Fareham area, I want you to please message your MP, which over here is Suella, and tell your story and keep pushing, because at the end of the day, the National Adoption Week will end on Friday, but our grief won't. So all I've been doing this week is obviously pushing about National Adoption Week, but what I'm doing more and more is getting you guys to a position that you know what to do. And also a lot of parents obviously are still in grief, still struggling, still going through hell. And at the end of the day, we've all been set up to fail because we weren't given the correct tools when we all left school. And if you didn't have parents that taught you about this stuff, they didn't set you up for life. So I've just been having a chat to the Mortgage Advice Bureau, right? And I've just been talking to them about people with physical disabilities who are on benefits permanently, who aren't going to ever come off of benefits according to the way that the system works, and why they can't access being able to purchase their own home when their benefits is consistent, and what is the biggest gap for people being able to purchase their own homes. Because if you're not in a financial situation to put up a deposit and be able to run a mortgage, then you're basically dependent on social housing and housing benefit. And also, if you are if you've had damaged your credit score, then again you're going to fall through the net. And this is why a lot of people end up homeless and on the streets, because they fall through that gap on both sides of the coin. But also, this is why we end up going to work to pay our bills, because once we have a mortgage, then we've got to keep going to work to be able to keep that mortgage paying, to keep things going. And then ultimately that mortgage is for 25 years. So it's either a case of you get up every work day to go to work to pay for your home, or you're on government benefit and it is the council that is paying it's the workers, it's the people who get up to go to work who have to pay their tax, that's paying for the people who are on benefits, who are in social housing and have their rent paid. And this is the catch-22, because government need this money. Now the thing is, the money that government they get from the EU. We don't have in the UK a federal banking system. We don't have our own printing system for money. as far as I'm aware. If we have someone, please let me know, because this is going to be interesting when we exit Brexit. So basically what has to happen is our government has to go to the main link people and say, right, we've got X amount of people here in Great Britain, we've got X amount of people that are on benefits, we've got X amount of people who are on social housing, and this is how much that each constituency needs to have. Because I'm in Fareham right now, and Fareham is a high self-employment area, it's a high employment area, but then they have social housing and people in institutions and places like that. But at the end of the day, if you're just literally getting up to go to work to pay your bills, then you're not living your life to your true purpose, because it shouldn't be about getting up every day to make money. It should be about getting up every day and being of service to what it is that your gifts and skills are in order to make a difference to our society. Now, we've got the Mortgage Bureau here. They've said that I can use their advertisement. So here we've got the Mortgage Bureau, Advice Bureau, which is pretty much all the way around the UK. And this is the people that we've got to change their mindset of, because at the end of the day, if people can't get onto the property ladder, or even more so, people are getting onto the property ladder as a married couple, and then that couple is separating, one of them is either left to go onto the streets or turn to social housing. Now, we've got to get ourselves into a situation where we don't need to turn to the system for nothing. But at the end of the day, when we have children or that need some form of services, if we're putting them into the education system, then there has to be reasonable adjustments for people having different needs. But I've just been talking to them about somebody who's self-employed, he's blind, and he gets PIP. But at the end of the day, if he was on PIP alone, he wouldn't be able to get a mortgage. Oh my goodness, there's so much sticky stuff around here that I'm stepping in. I have no idea what it is. I think somebody has baked a cake, or it's... Oh my goodness, it's the sap off the trees. Look at this. This is disgusting. Why do these trees have so much sap? Yeah, these trees, seriously, it's like stickiness all over it. My shoes are covered with it. So anyway, I've just been to Fareham. I've got my winter coat. I've been down to the MP's office, and now I'm letting you guys know. And if there is anyone in Fareham that wants to catch up, have a chat, then I'm going to be here for another couple of hours. Message me and I'll come and see you. Yeah, I'm just literally going to head down to the social services office, and I'm going to be speaking to a couple of people down there. And one thing that is very, very clear, okay, I've been on the phone to the reporters today that are covering the story on BBC Midlands, that's just going to go out at 6:30 tonight. They've already done the interviews this morning with Anna, and I do know their grandmother's name, but I can't remember her name. Becky, I think it is. And that's going to go out at 6:30 this morning. But every time I mention two people, the difference between support adoption or support families first, the one thing that they always say is that is something that we can all agree on. So not everybody agrees on supporting adoption, but everybody agrees on supporting families first. But what they're trying to work out is where the gap is. So this particular video, I'm talking about housing needs, and then later on I'm going to go over to mind, and hopefully if I've got some more battery, I'm going to talk about mental health needs and where the gap is in mental health. Because at the end of the day, the reason that our children are being taken is because we're not being provided with the services that we require due to budgets, or because we either can't afford to pay for that ourselves, or the prices are set by government at such a high rate that it has to go through funding. And unfortunately, some things that we can't access ourselves and pay privately, it has to go through the system. And at the end of the day, money comes from a printing machine, and our government have to basically go into surplus on how much money each person needs, or we make it ourselves. So I'm going to be pushing that actually when we come out of Brexit, that we the people have our own printing company here, and we become independent, and then we can print money off here in the UK under our own country, and then that way we haven't got to go to the federal banking system or any other federal banking system to ask them for money, because we the British can create our own money, and then we exchange time for service, and that service provides us with our home, our transport, and our basic fundamental needs and things like that. I'm going to start getting a little bit more order with these videos. At the moment, I'm just literally being reactive because I'm literally pushing this national adoption drive, because what would have happened, guys, is they would have just had their national adoption drive and everybody would have championed them, amazing and great and fantastic, and they're adopting these kids, and we would have all been called child abusers. But actually, we're stepping back, we're fighting back, we're coming back at these people and saying no. We were not child abusers. Our children were not abused. We turned to the system for help with either our own physical body, so it was a physical matter, like me, I have a lost-unlost syndrome, or it is a mental health matter, so you might have depression, suppression, you might be going through some form of trauma, or it may actually be that you have a learning difficulty like I have dyslexia, or it may actually be that you have a difference like autism, which we are the upgrade of the, as I say, or it might be housing needs. So at the end of the day, one of those needs is not met, but rather than keeping families together, they're separating families and dividing them. Yes, we know that there is an agenda to do this. Yes, we know there is adversary that want to break families down, but at the end of the day, we the people need to keep our families together and understand the traps and the tricks that they have that set us up to fail, so we can stand up back against that. So if you understand that what they're doing is separating you, then you can come back as a family and remain together. If you understand what they're trying to do, and please research MK Ultra, okay, and how this is a war on your mind. It is a war on your mind, a war on your soul, a war on your spirit, and a war on who you are and what you are here to do. I am an annulled adoption. I am here to keep families together. I am here to push that actually we live holistically, and I am here to push that you guys know your own strength, your own power, and know that you are not these labels that they put upon you. You are not borderline personality, you are not depression, you are not lost-unlost syndrome, you are not autism, you are not stolen youth are watching. Hello there, Jessica Jones. And you are not what they say you are. You are a amazing being. You are finite, and you have the maximum power here from your heart, and they have got you here in your head, and you need to get in here, back in your heart. I need to too. They damaged me too. I'm healing too, but my way of healing is by helping everybody else heal too, because otherwise I could lay in my bed and give up too. But I got two beautiful boys there who do need a home, who do need shelter, who do need transport, and who do need a mother who's healthy, happy and thriving. And if mum's right, the kids are right. If mum's down, the family go down. But if mum goes down, then people should be coming around me to help me and my family go above the threshold, and not actually victimising us, criminalising us, and turning us into child abusers. I am not a child abuser. I was failed by the system. My children were taken through persecution, and it's saying that I wouldn't work with the system. It wasn't me that wouldn't work with the system. It was the system that wouldn't work with me. Just like they didn't work with you guys. And nobody has a right to dictate to anybody, or if somebody is going through some form of trauma, they have no right in criminalising us. At the end of the day, our country is years and years and years and years and years and years behind on psychology. We're still talking about Freud. Freud was the most fucked up man that ever existed. In fact, most of our psychology is being championed by Freudian. In fact, his daughter is still continuing this. What do they call it? Can't think what you call it. And I will say it again and again and again and again. Hardly anybody is coming out of the education system with the basic fundamental tools. If I ask everybody, what is Equifax, what is Experian, the most of you would not know. If you don't know what these things are, you are never ever going to get yourself on the property ladder. You are never going to have a bank account, and you're never going to have the basic tools and fundamentals that keep us from having to literally live on the streets and going around and building our homes in trees and things like that, which is amazing and great. I love doing it. But at the end of the day, you know, we do need to be able to thrive. This is not about surviving. We are not here to survive. We are not here to be on our hands and knees begging and borrowing left, right and centre. We are here to thrive. We are here to live to the fullest potential that we have. Whatever your gift or talent is, you are meant to live it to your fullest capacity. And money will just support you along the way, because money is just the time in its service. It's this that it's got us locked up in, making us think that we are worth less. If you're scrimping around for £1.50s, then your self-worth is down here, and it's time for you to get your self-worth up here and realising that you are worth more than the life that you are currently living. And these people have not got any right to dictate to you what you can or can't be. They can't tell you that you're only capable of living in a council home. I'm not saying that living in a council home is wrong. My mum, I was raised on a council estate. What I'm saying is you have choices. You could sit there right now, and as I'm doing, I'm sitting down and going, what are the needs of my children? Well, okay, the needs of my children is I've got 2 boys. I want them to have their own bedrooms. I want them to have a garden. I want us to be living a road where we haven't got a main road out the front. I want them to be able to go out into the front garden, and hey, they're getting flowers. Might have some flowers for me. Basically I get to sit down and I get to build a picture of what my family's needs are and what I want. Okay, and the only thing that stands in between that is the purchase value, which is money, and the tick boxes that you have to tick. But if you understand the game of Monopoly, then you can be part of actually understanding how it works. Or we can all just fight back and say that we don't want to be part of this system, we don't want to use money, we don't want to use these things. So then basically we all live a nomadic life. But at the end of the day, yes, our system is corrupted. Just as I just said, it is corrupted, because at the end of the day, it's coming from a place of greed. Pride was the hardest sin to beat. In fact, pride was the very first sin that was ever created, to be prideful. Ooh, yeah, I'm proud, mate. And that's what they're all doing. I'm proud to support adoption. I'm proud to support adoption. Well, it's time that these people humbled themselves, because I'm not proud to support adoption. And I'm certainly not proud of our country right now. But I am humbled by the people that are getting up every day, that despite the fact that they've been kicked in the head, knocked back down, labelled, told they're this, told they're that they still get themselves up every day. Still keep on keeping on, still keeping the faith. And even though they're telling you that you will never see your kids again, what a load of bollocks. I don't care whether our kids come back when they're 50, 40, 14 or even 4. One day our children will come back to us, but they're not going to come back to parents that are downright depressed and knackered out and worn out. They're going to want to see parents that are living, thriving, and completely make them change their whole concept on why they thought they were taken away in the first place. But the stronger that we get, the more that we all individually keep pushing these. Why are all the MP doors actually not being protested? Why is every single